Well, hey kids, how's everybody doing today? Anybody out there? Let me get my computer set properly here. Kennel. That's how we'll take care of that nonsense. Anybody out there today? Hello. Does anybody really know what time it is? Hey Martin, how are you? Hey King of Chuck, glad to see you guys in. Hey Cam, how are you doing? I had to adjust things here a little bit. Hello Frederick, what's going on here? Huh, my live chat on my laptop's not coming in very quickly. Hello Lana, how are you? Austin, Frederick, how is everybody doing? Oh gosh, hold on, I gotta give the dog a bone apparently. She's being a butthead. Oh, 101 Eastern. 101 Eastern. Oh, had a phone call. Sorry about that, had a phone call come in. Nothing that was all that critical that had to be answered at this time in the morning, so. Hey Scott, hey Danny. Hello everybody. Hello Lily, yeah. Yeah, hey Dick, how you doing? Oh, getting a full crew rolling in, good deal, good deal. Well, it's getting cold and blustery up here in Alaska. Really starting to feel like winter is on its way, unfortunately. Even though the thermometer said it only got down to 37 last night, it was 28 night before last, so. What knucklehead out there is smashing the thumbs down button? Oh, you know, King of Chuck, there's always going to be some haters that are just going to jump on here for no other reason but to give it a thumbs down and move on. It's just, it's just the kind of nonsense that you get on YouTube, and you know, there's really nothing you can do about it. I can't change it any, and so you just roll with it, but. Especially right now, because as many of you guys know, I started a GoFundMe page, and as a result of that, I've picked up a whole new slew of haters. Yeah, I've been having, surprisingly, quite a few people that have been upset with me over the advent of starting to do that. But I'm trying to figure out any way possible to get the hell out of Dodge, and so I didn't have much opportunity to talk much about it in the little video that I did, so I thought I'd make up for that and kind of discuss it a little bit today. You know, for a long time now, I've been actively pursuing trying to get out and go sailing, and I'm not just going out to go sailing to, you know, sit on a beach and drink sundowners. That's never been my goal. My goal has always been to try to do something constructive and positive for people. I've always felt been involved in a life of service, you know, volunteered many years in the fire department and volunteered in the court system to help disadvantaged children and that kind of stuff. And obviously I've been doing that my whole life. I'm not going to stop just because I'm getting to be an old fart. So I've been actively trying to figure out a way to do, you know, sort of a Jacques Cousteau kind of thing, but more on a pro-conservation slant. Hey, Chip. Hello, Kenneth. Yeah, screw the haters. I agree with you, man. What about leasing the property? Mark, there's just no market up here for that. There's nobody up here that would have any need to lease my property. You know, the nice thing about my property is I'm a very remote place in Alaska. The problem is I'm a very remote place in Alaska. So, nothing wrong with sitting on the beach from time to time. No, I guess not. You think you've had it rough? You should check out what happened online to pro skier Carolyn Gleach Article Outside Magazine. Yeah, Doug, there's a lot of people that have had a lot harder time than me. I'm not saying I've had a hard time than anybody else. I'm just saying that I would like to accomplish something more than what I'm able to do from here in Alaska. I mean, that's really my underlying motivation. It's just that when I'm here in Alaska, I can't make the kind of content that I'd like to make. And so here's the deal. In all the videos that I've been able to upload, even going back to when I was doing my Travelers in Paradise show that aired on network television, I tried to deal with things that were positive for the environment and trying to give good information to people and trying to get people to think about the purchases that you're making, you know, not getting the plastic bags at the grocery store and trying to not buy plastic and not to buy fleece so microplastics get into the water column and, you know, those sorts of small things that everybody can do to make a difference in our society. And, you know, it's been kind of like I've been doing this and I've really not had any kind of positive response to any of that. And in fact, I've had some pretty staunch people, you know, a lot of pushback, actually. A lot of pushback. A lot of people, you know, don't want to hear it. And so, you know, you're an asshole for even talking about that. That kind of nonsense would go on. And so, you know, you get to hearing all that and it's frustrating, okay? So, hold on one second. Let me just keep up on the chat. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Jonathan Liv. I appreciate that. Sorry, we're referring to haters. That's all right, Doug. No problem. I'd like to hear some discussion on this. I want to get out on a boat as soon as possible, but you did say your last live chat that you would make... I'm feeling like I'm missing something. Yes, well, I would make pretty good money down in Florida, Chris, but I'm not in Florida. Florida right now is a very good, robust market, and the property values are much higher. Alaska doesn't have the real estate market that Florida does. I mean, we're 5,000 miles apart, and we are an oil-based economy up here, which is in the crapper right now for us, whereas Florida is a tourism-based economy, which is doing fairly well. Because a lot of those people are doing very well from a real estate standpoint, because a lot of those people that own homes down there have suffered some hurricane damage and are putting those on the market. There's going to be a lot of turnover this year, a lot of buying and selling of properties. And, you know, as a realtor, if I can get there and participate in that, I can make pretty good money. So, but for right now, up here in Alaska, I'm broke. I just, my business here has gone to hell in a handbasket. You know, properties that people bought 4, 5, 6 years ago, like I did, can't sell them for what's owed on them because the property values have gone down so much. There's a very slight glimmer of a little bit of development starting back on the North Slope, but it's just one company and they're doing just you know, a modicum of stuff, nothing at all like they used to do. I mean, 1% of what we used to have up here. So. When you moved to Alaska, did you anticipate a difficult exit plan, or was your plan to stay forever? Barry, I moved here to Alaska in support of a daughter who was into dog mushing and wanted to come up here and train dogs. The idea of the plan was to stay here forever, but, you know, you should always have an exit plan, and I didn't foresee things happening the way they did. So, hey, Christy. Hey, Nicholas, how you doing? Hey, Donna. Yes, and lots of well-priced boats for you. Yes, lots of very well-priced boats. I'll get to that in a minute. So anyhow, back to my story. So I've been trying to talk to people and get through to people about being aware of our environment and I'd like to make some stories. I don't want to make heavy-handed, you know, the sky is falling and it's your fault kind of nonsense. There are so many conservation groups that take that approach. Instead, my hope is to be able to show people what it's like underneath the oceans on a more personable basis, you know, on a more one-to-one basis, and have people begin to think of the oceans as something that, you know, is important to them and make a difference. Anyhow, I've really not had any success. No one's ever come back to me with anything that made me realize that I was making some success until just the other day. A lady that's been a real staunch you know, you're an idiot for even trying this, you know, all this sky is falling nonsense is bull ass and whatever. Anyhow, she saw a video about plastics in the world's oceans, and it was actually about somebody eating oysters, which she likes, and there was plastics in the oysters, and the meat of the oyster had plastics in it because the oysters had filtered water that had microplastics in it. And so she was really upset by the fact that there was plastics in that. And kind of the same thing that kind of set me off, although in my case, there, you know, I found out that there's plastics in beer. There are actually microplastics in beer. The filters in the beer can't filter that out. And so that's the thing that kind of first set me off. So, hey, Grizz. Anyhow, this lady sent me this link to this video, and I spoke to her about it, and she sent me that link and talked to me about it because she realized after watching that when when she saw that, she first thought of me, and I realized that I'd had a success, that I had somebody who I reached, somebody who and now, you know, the lady's in a real bad situation. She's battling cancer, and, you know, she can't help to think that maybe, you know, some of this plastics in the environment is maybe has something to do with why so many people are ill with so many illnesses today. Because, you know, plastics give off BPA and all that. And if we're eating them, if we're drinking them, just like they're in that mussel, you know, that clam that she was eating, that scallop, or what was it? It was oyster. Just like it was in the meat of that oyster, if you're ingesting that, well, guess what? That plastic's getting in you too. So it's somewhere in your body, in the meat of your body, there's some microplastics in there. And so, but the thing is, I was successful. You know, that's the thing that's amazing to me. I was successful. I got through to somebody. Now, somebody made a comment on the video I put up saying, well, you know, I'm obviously reached more than one person. If one person comment about it, then obviously a whole lot of people also had some impact. Maybe small, but had some impact. And that got me really excited. I mean, really excited, you know, like I'm kind of jazzed right now because now I'm realizing that, man, I can go out and I can do this. I can go out and make some content in the way that I like to, and not the heavy-handed, you know, sky is falling, it's all your fault kind of nonsense like so many of these people do. Because let me face you guys know as well as I do, you hear that, you turn it off. The first time someone says to you, oh, global warming or whatever, it's an immediate turn off, you know? I've heard it. I don't want to hear it anymore, you know? But if I can show you a plastic bag floating in the ocean and be pulling a plastic bag out of a turtle that's you know, dying from that, maybe that'll get through to you eventually. Maybe somebody will think a little bit somewhere down the line. Maybe you'll go to the grocery store one day and you'll look at the lady and you'll say, you know, I'll take paper instead of plastic, thank you. And if that's the success that I have, that's freaking awesome. That's absolutely freaking awesome. And that's what I'm kind of jazzed about. So, the vid, microplastics are yummy. No, they're not. She needs to watch the vid on some guy pull a straw out of the sea turtle's nose. Yeah, right? I've seen that one. Beer is yummy. Yes, beer is yummy. Hops juice is good. No, yes it is. Absolutely. One of my favorites. Obviously, look at the weight of me, guys. I put on a lot of weight from beer. Hey, Dave, how you doing, man? Best documentary seen on plastics pollution was Plastic Oceans on Netflix, and a real eye-opener. It is, Don. And, you know, there's a lot of these single-episode shows like that going on. Whole Shot says he brings his own bags that are cloth. Awesome. That's great. Barley Pop. Yep, there you go. But see, here's the problem. There's a lot of these content creators will create a one-time movie. They'll make a movie, and you know it'll go to all of the what is it, the film festivals and stuff, you know, and oh, they get all kinds of awards for that. Guys, what we've learned today is what it takes is not one great big huge pile of boom, here's this big impact, super moving, big budgeted thing. What it takes is just a little bit every day. Constant. We've learned from YouTube, because YouTube's kind of changing the whole landscape on new media today. What we've learned is little tiny bites on a relentless basis. It's like, how do you eat a whale? You eat a whale one bite at a time. Now, please, guys, don't be eating whales, okay? We don't want to do that. But still, one bite at a time. Little tiny bits, little 5-minute, 10-minute, maybe a 30-second thing inside of a 15-minute video or whatever. That's the way to get the point across. And that's more in line with what I'm trying to do. You know, I mentioned Cousteau before. Cousteau was phenomenal in that he was putting out this weekly television show, you know, the Undersea World of Jacques Cousteau. The last episode of that was like 50 years ago, guys. 1976 was the last episode of that. So you do the math, okay? That was my first senior year of high school, 1976. We've not had a iconic individual like Cousteau that has been making regular content like him. And that's kind of what I'd like to do. I'd like to be able to make regular, good quality content. And that's why I'm so motivated to get the hell out of Alaska and get down to Florida, where I can buy a really cheap boat, maybe something like $5,000 or something, to have a floating condo. I can work and sell real estate down there to help support myself and support my efforts. But I got to get there. I got to get there. And I have certain expenses involved with getting there. And that's why I started my GoFundMe account. And so if you guys can jump in there and help out, that would be awesome. I put a link there in the description. But I heard that there's Plastic Island. Yes, there's a huge floating gyre out in the middle of the Atlantic. And there's also one in the, actually there's a bunch of them. Everybody talks about the one in the Pacific. There's actually a bunch of them throughout the world, places where the currents have pushed them together. And what happens is that plastic gets pushed together and it rubs against each other in the motion of the ocean, you know, and it breaks down into little tiny pieces, and that's part of where some of this particulate matter comes from. A lot of it, however, comes from clothing fibers, especially fleece. So, yeah, a lot of conversion zones. You're right, Maui-Lei. We tend to focus on plastic bags, but once you unpack your groceries, check out all the plastic waste from the packaging. Oh, yeah, man, really, a lot. Yes, a ton. Want to get the hell out of Alberta, too. I don't blame you, Kim. Frederick, more like Jacques Cousteau did, absolutely a little bit every day. Exactly. Some good regular content. Building an audience is the other thing. Somebody in one of the comments brought to my attention this girl that did this really beautiful video about, you know, saving the world and stuff. And she'd been doing a blog for a long time. And then she got together with another person. They did a nice video. And that's great. And she put this beautiful video up. And it's really a nice video. But she has it up on a channel. And it's only one of like 3 videos. And only like 3,000 people saw it. Because she hasn't invested the time, effort, and energy necessary like YouTube shows us we need to do. You got to build an audience, okay? You got to get friends like you guys that are watching on a regular basis. You got to build a community, and then that community can expand and grow. So, you know, much like Delos and Le Vagabond in the sailing genre, those guys have grown pretty big. I see a time where we could go even bigger. You know, I don't think Delos is the end of the rainbow, you know? I think, you know, you look at people, some of the other creators on YouTube with 5 million and 10 million subscribers. I see an ability to be able to grow to that nth degree. And once you have that audience, then you have impact. And so doing this wonderful, fantastic movie, she had it sponsored by Patagonia. You know, it was a big dollar event. 5,000 views. So what was the point? It's not getting the point across. It's not getting the eyes on it. You got to get the eyes on it. And you do that by building a community and building content and putting stuff up on a regular basis. And that's really what I'm trying to do. Danny says, I'm guilty of fleece. You know, the problem, Danny, with fleece is a lot of us got I have clothes from 20 years ago, okay? I have fleece. I didn't know. I didn't know back then when I bought fleece that it was bad. And now what do you do with it? How do you dispose of it? You throw it in the garbage and it goes in the landfill, where it eventually breaks down and ends up in the water table anyway? I don't know. I've actually trying to call some people to see if I can find out, you know, what's going on. Andy Woods, thank you for the GoFundMe donation, sir. You rock. Really do appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. That was very awesome of you, sir. So how do you dispose of it? That becomes a problem. So Still flinching from the use of Bring. That's right, Alan, 5P, and it's happening all across Europe. Use of Bring. I'm not sure, Nakanu, what that means. Still flinching from the use of Bring. Get your thumbs up or I'm going to whack the kitty. Hey, Chris. 10,000 eyes, roughly. Yep, okay. Hey, Simon, how you doing, man? Rhonda, I told you that I wasn't letting you give up, Carl. We've had this conversation time and again. I'm still on your side. I'm still sick as hell and haven't worked. Going on week 2. Oh, man, Rhonda, I am so sorry to hear that. Cheshire Canary in the house from her sick bed in Ohio, guys. She's not doing well. She's been feeling poorly. Well, Rhonda, I am so glad that you are here. Doctors once said smoking was good for you. Yeah, right? Yeah. We live and we learn, you know. We live and we learn. So, everybody say hello to Rhonda. I'm going to grab a quick drink here. Plastic, right? I've recycled that jug. I refill it at my well. Try to reuse it over and over and over again. What else are you going to do? Hey, Johanna, glad to see you here. Hey, Chris. So, guys, that's kind of the thing. I'm like really jazzed about this because I had some success. Winter's coming. Real estate market up here in Alaska is absolutely crap right now. Real estate market down in Florida Keys is doing awesome. And I just got to get someplace where I can make a living because it's going to get bad up here. It's going to get worse up here in Alaska before it gets any better. So, and at this point, I've got my property price down so low that if I lowered it anymore, I might as well just walk away from it. It's just, you know, there's no room to drop the price anymore. I'm up against a mortgage and you know, paying this mortgage for what? Making a mortgage payment for what? I'm not getting ahead. There's no value on the property. The amount of money I paid as a down payment has been gone because of the loss in the market up here. So it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. And if I'm sitting up here, I'm just wasting time when I could be down in Florida doing some good. And that's why I'm asking you guys, please, if you can, help out. If at all possible, please jump in there on the GoFundMe and see what you can do. I'm a long, long ways away from the goal that I need. And let me just explain that to you so you know exactly how I would spend that money. Fuel to get me down to Florida. I got the dog's got to get into the shop. She's got to have a shot, and I have to get vet papers for her so we can cross Canada. She can't go across Canada unless she's got her rabies shot updated and get her vet papers saying that she's healthy so I can drive across Canada. So I've got fuel to get down there. I'll probably just sleep in my truck so I can keep the expenses down. And then talking about boats, I found a fella down there in Florida that's got a pretty decent little boat. He's trying to sell it for $25,000. He said $5,000 down and he would carry a note for me for a little while. So that might be a real good option for me. It's not a great boat. It's certainly not the boat that I would like to have eventually, but it's a boat that would work for me for the time being. And so, Lily, quiet. You don't need out. You need to go to bed. Take a nap. And so there's a great opportunity there to have an inexpensive floating condo. So, Nicholas, I'm not in a place where anybody's going to... I live in a dry cabin. Nobody wants to rent a dry cabin. So, and even if I rented it, you know, I would have to be out of here in order to rent that. So, unfortunately, it's just not an option up here. I really wish it was, but it's just not. So, my internet is awful. What did I miss? Are you moving before you sell the farm? Kim, I'm trying to get someplace where I can make a living. I'm having a tough time here because of our market, and so I'm trying to move on. Mary Matthews, cancer-free. I beat it. Hey, awesome, Mary. That's good to hear. I hit the GoFundMe page. If all 63 of us give us $5, it's a good start. Certainly is, Andy. Certainly is. We can pay a few pennies for paper bags, and most do just that. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with paper bags, guys. Paper is from wood. Wood's a renewable resource. Trees regrow. So, yeah, I know she wants out. Lily needs fixed too. Yes, she does. Can you take an equity loan to get enough? No, there's Chris. My equity is like 20 grand at this point. The property values have gone down so low that my equity is 20 grand, and they won't. I can't do a 20 grand equity loan. My cost basis for doing that is if you're making 400, 200, you're looking to get for your land isn't too much. Chris, my land is in Alaska, and the market up here in Alaska just isn't there anymore. So 8441 Morgan listed for 55 listed today. Yeah, Doug, that's way outside of my price range right now. I'm talking about 5, not 55. My monthly nut on my Alaskan property is about $1,200. We do also pay for plastic bags. You pay for plastic bags? Wow. Okay. Yeah, bring your own. I have a bundle of. I have a bag full of bags that I take with me. I've got 10 shopping bags that all pack into. In fact, they're really nice bags. Where are they? Well, I think they're out in the truck right now, but they're really nice bags. They're insulated, so they tend to keep the cold stuff cold for a while. So I saw that Morgan on Cruisers Forum. Yeah, I did. I think I did see that, Morgan, and it is a nice boat. But I'm just not going to be in that ballpark right now. The guy that I was talking to had a $25,000 boat where he would do $5,000 down and allow me to make payments on it. I'm just trying to figure out a way of getting there, guys. So there's some good deals down there. Oh, Maui Lay, man, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Much appreciate that, man. Thank you very much, sir. That's awesome. Awesome. That'll help. Would you consider chalking this up to a bad investment and walking away from the property? King of Chuck, I may not have any option but doing that. I'm in a situation where I don't think I can sell my property for what's owed on it. So, is there no room for you to sit out the winter at your son's place? Yeah, Simon, that doesn't do anything for me. My son's in Ohio. I can't create content from Ohio. And I can't earn in Ohio. I'm a real estate broker, and that doesn't make sense. If I'm going to do that, I might as well stay here. At least I can continue to try to eke out an investment here. So, Morgan just had a $65,000 refit. Nice. Take your canvas bags to the supermarket. Yep, absolutely. Hey, Dave, how you doing? Old as dirt. Sorry, Carl, I can't stay. Got to run. Good luck to you. Thanks, old as dirt. Appreciate it. When I'm at the grocery stores and they ask me paper or plastic, I say, paper, please. My wife ain't so ugly, I want to suffocate her. Oh, man, you're funny. You're funny. So anyhow, that's kind of why I'm starting the GoFundMe, is I'm trying to see if I can put together the funds necessary. I'm actually today starting to work on contacting some foundations and that sort of thing, see if we can't get some funding to come in that way. So Kim, no, Kim, I don't, but all I have to do is pay the fees, and I have to retest, and I'll get it back. So I'll be able to get my real estate license in Florida back in like a week after I get down to Florida. I just have to stop in there and take a quick test and pay a fee for it. So, hey, Grandpa, I have to return to work. Paul, you take care, man. Thanks. So, yeah, so I'll be able to start working in Florida almost immediately. And as a result of that, I'm sure, I will have I know I'll have much better earnings. The property value difference, okay? If you look at all of the properties in my entire area, oh, Rhonda, thank you, darling. I appreciate you doing the GoFundMe. Rhonda just got on there and made a contribution to the GoFundMe. Thank you, dear. I appreciate that. So we've tried your beef stew recipe and thought it was good. I would say it was more healthy than what we would make very good stew. Well, thanks, Coyote Pete. I'm glad you enjoyed my stew recipe. For those of you who don't know, I have a video on my channel about how I make my version of a beef stew, and it's a very tasty, very healthy beef stew. I'm a little late, but where are you looking to go? Augur Mage, I'm looking to get down to Florida so I can start creating the kind of content that I'd like to create and also be able to work down there at the same time. Skeets. Yeah, that's not such a tasty recipe, those skeets. That's another cooking episode that I did. So, you know, it's just so frustrating because, you know, seeing that success from that lady made me realize that I am having some success. And so I'm really motivated to try to get this done. And guys, I'm just trying to figure out every single way I can do that. So how is the weight loss going? The weight loss is going very well. Going very, very well. In fact, the shirt that I am wearing today is one size smaller than what I have been wearing. And it's a little tight, but I'm fitting it. So it feels good. Sounds like you should bite the bullet and just move to the Keys and start your new life. I know you would feel better. Dale, that's what I'm trying to do, but unfortunately I can't just get there. You know, I can't teleport myself. I need someplace to stay there, and the most cost-effective thing I can figure out is to buy like a really down and dirty, cheap little boat. As opposed to like renting a place down the Florida Keys. I rented when I was down there in 2015, and for $2,000 a month, you get a real shithole. I mean, really nasty apartment for $2,000 a month. Where for $5,000 I can buy a small little, 33-foot, 35-foot monohull, and have a floating condo, and have a nice backdrop, and you know, a sailboat to live on. So you start making some content about sailing and the cruising lifestyle and the kinds of things I'd like to do. So, and you know, it's going to cost me fuel. I'm 5,000 miles away. It's over $1,000 just in fuel. Just in gas is like $1,400 for me to drive from here to Florida. Just the fuel. So, you know, I need $6,000-7,000 at least. And so, frankly, if I had $6,000-7,000 in my hand today, you're right, I would head out immediately and head down there. So, what do you pay for mortgage and liveaboard fees? Nothing, Don. Nothing. I would go to a Marathon, Florida, and I would anchor out there in the harbor. Now, there is a fee to use the dock and the shower house there at the marina. That's $200 a month. So, tried my skeet stew and chipped a tooth. To sit on for a bit till you can sell your place. Yeah, maybe. You know, if I had the right contacts, might be able to just bunk with somebody or what have you. But yeah, Don, I would plan on just putting out an anchor. So, and yes, Jahan, I will stop in and see the grandkids on the way down. Absolutely. It's not an outdoor shower, is it? Yeah, well, had to use the outdoor shower again, so it is what it is. You know, it's what I have up here. Apparently, the other place, the truck stop where I normally take my showers, apparently they had someone broke a glass door and got badly cut by it, one of the shower doors. They have 2 showers for men and 2 showers for women, but because this guy got in there and broke one of the shower doors and got cut, they've closed them completely, and now they're talking like they're going to remodel and not even put showers back in. So the next nearest place for me to go take a shower is Wasilla, and that's like 50 miles away. So I heat up water on the stove, and I use a little electric pump that I have. Little tiny electric pump. I mean, this electric pump's like this big. And step out on my front step and take a shower. I live out here in the woods. It's not like anyone's going to see me. As long as some potential property buyer doesn't pull in my driveway and look around. So I'll be okay. So, a little chilly out there. It's going to get a lot colder as time goes on. But, you know, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. I can't take a shower inside my cabin. I get my floor all wet. So, After the 2 hurricanes, there has to be a ton of boats available to live on in the Keys. Yes, but people want you to pay for that. They're not going to just let you live there. So, hey, Jeff, how you doing? Anyhow, I got a question for you guys. For those of you guys that are patrons, whether you're patrons for me or for somebody else, I have a question for you. What is your favorite reward or motivation for becoming a patron? If you're a patron on a particular channel, what did they have in their patron rewards that motivated you to jump in there and want to be a patron? Or was it simply just to support that particular creator and, you know, you didn't care about getting things like, you know, stickers or whatever it is they were sending you? Or, you know, so what was your, if you are a patron, what was your favorite or most important motivation to do that? If you could put that in the comments, I'd really be interested to see that. So, trying to revamp my Patreon page, maybe to make it more attractive to people. Get some cats and take a cat bath. Just drag one of the shoreline right whole shot. There you go. We get used to the cockpit showers. Hey, Grandpa, hope all is well. Hey, Captain Jack. Alan B, you might check some of the Facebook groups. I've seen several slightly damaged but not terrible sailboats for free or almost nothing lately. Yes, that's what I'm trying to capitalize on, Alan. That's what I'm trying to capitalize. Hey, Carl and Jenny. Wasn't rewards, it was content and good quality videos that are entertaining to watch. Hey, Country Cruiser. 60 degrees in western Oklahoma, huh? Donovan Officii, DDD. Okay. Donna Rice. Sorry, bye, y'all. I need to leave to visit X and hospital. Hey, Donna. I hope he's doing better. You take care. It's the content. Does it put a smile on my face after I watch it? Okay. All right. So it's just the content is what you guys are saying, right? Anybody else have some comments about that? I do not sign up as a patron for any channel. Subject to content and intangibles, I will offer one-time contributions. Okay. Well, Don, I understand that. Okay. Content. Huh. So all of these channels that have all these different rewards and stuff. I'll give you an example of some things that I was thinking about and see what your thoughts are on them. One of the channels, one of the main things that all the channels seem to be doing is to give access to videos ahead of time before they come out on YouTube. I don't know if that's any value to anybody. I know I've been a patron before for other channels, and I found it confusing because I would watch it on Patreon, and then I'd go and it would come on my YouTube feed later on, and I'd see it, oh, I've already watched it, I've already watched that. And so I didn't see any real value in getting it first, I guess. So it will make a living in Florida. Wouldn't it make sense to leave Alaska, and would you be making money and be able to continue to pay the $1,200 a month on the land and wait for yourself? Yeah, Dave, that's exactly what I'm hoping to do. I want to get to Florida and work there, and then, yes, I'll continue to make my mortgage payment here until this property sells. Absolutely. I'm not going to walk away from the mortgage. I'm going to figure out a way to get it paid. My earning opportunity up here in Alaska is really bad right now. And I just got to get myself someplace where I can earn a little better. And so I just kind of need the opportunity to get there. So I need two things. I need the funds to get there, and I need someplace to be able to live once I'm there. So my leach bed is clogged. I take a shower on my back deck till I get it fixed. Well, then, Coyote Pete, you know what I'm dealing with. What I like about you is your consistency with your broadcast. Okay, thanks, Dale. I appreciate that. Simon Powell says, my motivation for Patreon is to support those making good quality content that I enjoy and learn from. I cancel my subscription to and use the money for those making things I want to watch. Okay. So again, it's just content. I like the Patreon-only videos. Do you have a link for GoFundMe? Right there, Nelson. Thank you. You like the patron-only videos. Okay. Okay. I don't like channels blowing smoke up my butt either. Some are working too hard trying to raise money, and in some cases, they're a little evasive in doing that. Some are downright deceptive. Don, there's always that suggestion of impropriety whenever you do that. I'm trying to be very open and explain exactly, what I need the funds for and what I'm trying to do with it. So, I hope you'll forgive me my transgressions, I guess. Saw a do on this Facebook group, Carl, boats for sale. Sailboats for sale by owner only. I will check on that, Alan B. Thank you. I meant cancel my subscription to Sky. Okay. Content is king. Okay. If I was to start a patron account, I wouldn't give anything but videos. However, I would hold a drawing for patron donations and give the winner 10% of the year's patrons' donations. Huh. I could name names, but Don, not a problem. Not a problem. I understand. I understand. Hello, I'm Japanese. I can't speak English, so it's interpreting using the internet. Okay. Hello, Japanese? I guess. I didn't see a name, so ARL offering... Uh-oh. Okay. ARL offering week rides on SSL to their patrons don't suck. Offering week rides. What do you mean by that, Chris? You mean by offering them to be on the boat? Best patron offers are to come aboard. Okay. Crewing opportunities then. You're saying the best thing is the crewing opportunities. And a lot of channels are doing that. And I would hope to do that too at some point. I might need a little bit larger boat than the one I'm going to get right now. Barely room for me in there, but hardly anybody else. Japanese, we live in Alaska. Rick Moore is offering crewing opportunities. Yeah, a lot of channels will offer crewing opportunities. And I would too, I think. I think that would be a legitimate thing. It would be fun, I think it would be a lot of fun to have some of the patrons come visit on the boat and participate with stuff. Any comments on a $6,000 live aboard cruiser, maybe 30th or so? That's kind of what I'm looking for right now, if I could find something like that in Florida. Greetings from Poland. I really appreciate how you explain everything and letting us know that you want to do and how you plan to use your channel and the money we donate to you. The type of honesty is not common these days. Well, thanks, Austin. I appreciate that. I try to, be very open about that so you can see what's going on. So, what kind of boat is this 5,000 down you're looking at? It's actually, this particular one is an Aloha 32. And it's sort of interesting boat. A little small, but it would be a good floating condo for me. And that guy's asking 25. I offered him 5 down, and he said that'd be fine. So, konnichiwa. Take care, everyone. My internet is acting up. Kim, you take care. We'll see you later. Wow, whole shot. That guy's keeping you busy. Go ahead and block him if you want to. If that's going to get to be a problem. So, thanks, Andy. So, some of the other things I've seen some people do is like, that you'll get a photo or you'll get, you'll get like a personal thanks from them, a picture of them where they are, and, they're just going to email you a digital picture or something. I don't know. It seemed kind of hokey to me, actually. So, I don't know. And it didn't seem like that was much. I mean, I would think that would be kind of, I don't know. And like this one channel has a limit where if you do $25 a video, then once a month they're going to send you a picture of them in some bar drinking, having a sundowner in some bar. They're going to send you a picture of that for a donation of $25 per episode. That doesn't seem like a real great reward to me, but no problem, Cam. I like the layout of the small Lois. It does seem to be pretty nice. You want a sign pick? There you go. Gave a small donation under another name. Hope that works for you. The sooner you get on the water, the better. Can't have a sailing channel without sailing. Six Bears, thank you. I really appreciate that, man. I really do. Thank you. Go beast mode. Yeah, it's pretty much there now. Picture sounds rubbish. LOL. Picture of Lily looking goofy sounds better. Okay, Nakanu, are you referring to the live stream or the video that I put up? Picture of Lily looking goofy sounds better. Huh. My lunch is over. Okay, Austin, you take care, man. We'll see you later. I have a full-size Ford van, extra vehicle from a small business I once owned and could live in that van and shower at the gym if I had. I camp in it when my Jeep local mountains. Yeah, actually, King of Chuck, and that's another option. I can sleep in my, I've got a Ford Excursion. I can sleep in my truck for a while. In fact, I plan on sleeping in my truck during the getting myself there. So, what do you think Bobby's magic is? People seem to throw money at him at each live video. I don't get it myself. Chris, I'm not really sure. You know, I guess a lot of people like to see the content that he was producing. I don't know. I don't know. More power to him. That's great for Bob. To my patron creators are like buskers. You stop and enjoy their offering and offer a gratuity. The cheap swag is just that, cheap. Yeah. Well, a lot of, Don, you bring up an idea. A lot of channels will do like a t-shirt. And to me, I just hate like hell creating another thing that's going to eventually end up in a landfill. A lot of people talk about want me to get t-shirts made up and stuff, and I will probably end up doing that, but that didn't seem like something I would want to give as a reward. Maybe something to have available for people if they wanted to buy it, but I don't know. Just an idea on how to live on the cheap. Yo, actually, I agree, King of Chuck, absolutely. About the patron reward. Oh, okay. I see. Gotta go, folks. We're off to see the live show. Good night, everyone. Okay, Carl and Jenny, you guys take care. James DeGroot, when sailing or living on a boat, where do you get mail and what do you use for an address for the legal stuff to be sent? James DeGroot, very good question. A lot of cruisers will use a family's address, family members, you know, kids or cousins or whatever. A lot of people will also use a mail service. There are some, you know, like these pay postal places, not post offices per se, but these mail centers and stuff will oftentimes have rental. Sorry about that, guys. There was a phone call that came in and I got rid of it. So I hope I didn't lose anybody there. I have actually, the auction people are coming to pick up the rest of the stuff today that everything that I can possibly get rid of. They're making a run for all the stuff that I have outside. So I'm going to have to end here in about 10 minutes because they should be on their way here. They said they'd be here at 10 o'clock and that's in about 10 minutes or so. So we're going to end this here pretty soon, but they're coming up to haul away all the rest of the stuff that I have outside, some remaining tools and wheelbarrows and things like that I can get rid of now. So, and that'll help improve the curb appeal. I won't have so much stuff outside. So anyhow, I apologize if I keep looking over that way, but I'm looking out my front window out my driveway to see if they're pulling in, because the last time that they did that, they called me and immediately showed up. So I missed a comment here. Doug Martyr says, Annapolis was great, by the way. Met Nigel. Oh, cool. In the first 5 minutes on Exquisite X5 Cat and accidentally photobomb Fallen Cheryl. Hey, that sounds like fun. Yeah, I wish I could have been there. I understand it was pretty rainy, so pretty rainy stuff. Got a phone message. That was me calling to make an offer on your place. No, it wasn't, Grizz. That was the auction guy calling. Not trying to change subject, but being a knife guy, do you have a preference? No, not really. As far as knives are concerned, not necessarily. Grandpa, just want you to know that you're a huge inspiration to me. Well, thanks, Captain Jack. I appreciate that. Chris has got to go. Hey, Chris, you take care, buddy. We appreciate it. How are you going to live this winter? Are you getting rid of everything? Well, I'm not getting rid of everything inside the cabin. I'm getting rid of all the stuff outside. You know, I'm not going to need a lawnmower, obviously, for the rest of the winter. And I'm going to be getting out of here pretty soon. So there's an okay-looking CNC 35 being auctioned. That was a Boat Angel donation. Unfortunately, it's up in New York, but currently bidding is low. Maybe another venue to investigate. Certainly would, Alan B. That is an idea. Gonna run sundown. My lady, take care. Patron rewards, idea, content, rewards, bloopers, details of boat, finances, stuff unavailable elsewhere. Okay, thanks, Nakano. Appreciate that. Good luck to you, Grandpa. I hope this transfers. Thank you. Thanks, John. Check out YouTube channel for Wiley. Yes, I've been watching Wiley Sharp, Jonathan. He seems like a pretty good guy. And, you know, he gave a much fairer assessment to what's going on in the boat market than some of these other people that have been screaming that the sky is falling, trying to drum up business where it really isn't. So get going to get out there, old man. Hey, thanks, Outcast. I'm working on it. Okay. Well, guys, why don't we go ahead and wrap this up? I've got this guy. I got to return his phone call and see where he's going and how much longer he's going to be. If you would, please consider going in there, jumping in on the GoFundMe to help out. I would certainly appreciate that. And if you can't, you know, that's perfectly okay too. It's, you know, certainly not a requirement. It's just if you can help out. I'm trying to do everything I can and raise all the money I can so I can get the hell out of Alaska before the snow flies and get someplace where I can start making the kind of content that I'd really like to make. So anyhow, I'm going to end this here. The dog really wants out of the crate. I'm going to take her outside for a bit. You guys take care, and we'll see you guys all later. I'll be doing another live stream on Sunday, and so we'll see you guys then. You guys take care. Have a great day, and try to be good to everybody, all right? Thanks.